Hi everybody, it's Steve Chilcote. I'm a land specialist, realtor and forester in central PA. I want to talk to you today about how to choose a piece of land to purchase and why maybe you should think about selling your property and trading up for something better. We're getting to that part of the year when we're winding down hunting season and maybe you didn't see any deer or you didn't get anything and you're starting to wonder why you bought your piece of land to hunt on. So my first piece of land that I want to talk about is my buddy John's place. As you can see, he's got 70 acres here with partial woods and some good fields. He's got fairly good soil there, and he has a trout stream running through it. It's a small stream, but he's got fresh water coming down from the mountains, good fields, good road frontage. In case you ever wanted to divide off a couple lots, you're able to do that in the future. But he can grow his own food, crops, pasture, whatever he wants. I've been trying to get him to put a food plot in here. One day I'll convince him to put soybeans in there and then cover crop it in the fall and double crop. You can imagine all the deer from up on this mountain coming down to feed there. But he's got good timber on this property, so this is a gem of a property, and it's worth a lot of money, but it's, you know, you get what you pay for. Okay, next there's a piece that I sold to a fella recently. It's a couple hundred acres. It's part of a mountainside, but it doesn't really have the super steep part. It only goes up to where it starts to get real steep, which is nice. Another good thing is it's got stream frontage, and since it's just going to be for hunting, it's a good property. It's a good buy because the guy who owned it before sold every stick of timber on it, so it has no timber value, and you can't develop it because you have to cross a creek to get to it. So it has no good access, and what makes it a good investment is that in the future, if this guy decides that he might want to put a bridge across, then he could develop that property into stream frontage lots and it'd be worth a lot of money. He could do Airbnb cabins along the creek. You're close to some civilization and attractions. I don't want to say where it is, but it's a great location. And we got it at a really bargain price because of the access issue and the fact that the guy took all the timber off, and I mean all of it. So, all right. Okay, here's one that I recently did a forest management plan for. I like this property a lot, except it's got some problems and issues that I won't go into, but what I like about it, it's got creek frontage, which isolates it because it's at the end of a dead-end road. And all around it are small fields and wooded lots where you don't have a lot of agriculture, but you have some open lots and a lot of residential. So if you were to put food in these fields, he's got 15 acres of field here that he could food plot, and he could pull deer in from everywhere, all around. And these are all thickets. These used to be old fields, and these could be managed for thick cover, and deer would bed down up in here, come this way to feed. So you got bedding on one side of your property and pull them to the feed, okay? That way you come out of your place and you get in between and you can hunt effectively. The wind is right for hunting on this property and working that movement, bedding to food. Stay out of your bedding. This is all sanctuary, okay? And you have a little bit of hunting pressure here and some across the creek, but very little hunting pressure around there. You could grow a lot of deer. So that's a good one. I like it. And if there's timber on it, as there is here, you could sell some timber to get some cash flow out of the property. Okay, here's another property that I did a wildlife management plan for. This is about 45 acres. It's got really good soil, so we can do food plots anywhere we want. We already have a food plot built, and we're going to put 2 more in. We're going to log to thicken it up a little bit. It's got beautiful mature timber on it. Big farm down below here in the south, and a nice woodlot over that way, and then this way is all residential. So you kind of have the deer hemmed in. If they want to eat, they're going to have to go to his food plots after the crops are down. Terrific investment. Beautiful home. It's got beautiful timber on it. We're going to get a good chunk of change for that timber, and we're going to make the hunting a lot better. So the highlights are extra road frontage. So let's say you wanted to come over here and sell off a lot, you could do that because you have good road frontage with good access. You got a farm over this way. Maybe someday you could buy some of that farmland and add on to your place. And you got good neighbors, high class neighborhood, so that's important, trust me on that one. All right, on to the next one. Okay, here's an opportunity to tell you about a piece that I was asked to list for sale, and I refused because to me it just isn't worth anything. It might have a few deer on it, but I'll tell you what's wrong with it. As you can see, the whole thing has been strip mined. Some of it was reclaimed properly, the front part, but in the old days there was no reclamation law. None of this was reclaimed. When you see these stripes on the aerial, those are high walls where they dug into the bank and took the coal off. There's a big quarry over here. Looks like a moonscape. Big strip mine up here. Water treatment. There's a water treatment facility on this piece, which is not necessarily a bad thing, but the water is no good. The soil's no good. The timber's no good. And the hunting could be decent except for the fact that there's a town right up here, and every redneck in the world rides this four-wheeler on this property. So you can't have it private. You never get those people off of there. So that's a good one to stay clear of, especially if they want a lot of money. Now if they want to get rid of it real super cheap, you might think about buying it for recreation. It's not that bad really, just to recreate, but for the cost of a piece of land today, it isn't worth it. Okay, this property I didn't draw the lines on to protect privacy, but you can see that this is part of it. The line runs along here. And there's an old field. There used to be a farm here. And that's key because when you're looking at a piece of ground, if you want to put in a large food plot somewhere, you have to clear that. Now, when I clear woodland and de-rock it, get the soil right, you're looking at several $1,000s per acre to get that right so you can grow on it. This one already had a field, and it did take a lot of work to get it straightened out, but at least we didn't have to clear it. So now we have about 10 acres of food plot over here, and then we have some hidey-hole food plots throughout the property. It's got some very nice clean water on it. Wild trout stream that leads down to a blue ribbon trout stream down below here. And it's close to state land. Now you don't have access to the state land very well, but you don't really need it. It sits nice. It's got some level areas and some steep ravines, which is good. I like to have some topography on the property that you're working with so you can create bedding areas for deer and feeding areas. Also, you don't want everything to be super steep because it just isn't worth anything. If you ever want to build a house or do some subdivision on a property like this, you can do it because this is all flat. There's road access to get in from a public road, and it's got a lot of road frontage. So road frontage is key, water's key, good soils. These are marginal soils, but you could get them straightened out so you can grow food on it. And you can at least put beef on it or other livestock. So if the stuff ever really hits the fan, you can live here and raise your own food. And right now I think that's a good thing to be looking for. If you want to come into Central PA and take a look around, give me a call. My number's down below, and we'll show you around and see if you can find a piece of property that suits your needs. All right, thanks for watching. Be sure and hit the like and subscribe button and click on the bell so you'll be notified when there's a new video. And comment down below and let me know if there's anything you'd like to know more about.